Okay, so let's talk for a minute about wrist flexors and wrist extensors. All right, we know that there's a ton of muscles on the antebrachium, the forearm, right? And most of them will tell you exactly what they do. Flexor carpi radialis means it flexes the wrist, and it's on the radial side. Flexor carpi ulnaris flexes the wrist, carpi being wrist, and it's on the ulnar side. Extensor carpi ulnaris, extensor extensor carpi radialis, flexor digitorum, all that stuff. You should know that, but that's not really going to come up on the test. They are going to be grouped. So they're going to talk about the wrist flexors, and what you need to know is the pathologies that go with them. So all the wrist flexors start on the medial epicondyle. So think about medial epicondylitis, golfer's elbow for the medial side, and tendinitis on the medial side of the elbow. Wrist extensors start on the lateral epicondyle, lateral epicondylitis, tennis elbow, or tendinitis on the lateral elbow. A lot of times what you'll see is your client is experiencing pain on the lateral epicondyle or the lateral side of the elbow. What muscles might you target, or what muscles are you going to work on, or what muscles could be causing the problem? And in your options, they're going to be wrist extensors or wrist flexors, or even specific muscles that are going to tell you either they're a flexor or an extensor. Okay, so these are going to come up as pathologies. I can almost guarantee it. All right, so golfer's elbow for flexors. Think about a nice little like putt. What do you call when you just putt really a short distance to the hole? More of a flexion action, right? Whereas a big, powerful backstroke, you have to extend really big and broad. Tennis elbow for the extensors. And while you're putting that in your mental Rolodex, let's go ahead and add pronator teres. Pronator teres originates on the medial side, all right? On the medial side with the wrist flexors. And supinator is on the extensor side, on the lateral side with the extensors. They might say if you want to access or work the supinator, what muscles must you work through? Well, they are deep to the extensors on the lateral epicondyle, okay? And pronator teres originates on the medial side. Another thing about pronator teres, they might say what muscle antagonizes biceps brachii. It could say in supination to remind you, or it might just say what muscle antagonizes biceps brachii. Don't forget, biceps also supinates. It's the primary supinator. And so a pronator muscle, either pronator teres or pronator quadratus, is going to antagonize the biceps brachii in supination of the forearm. So I can almost guarantee this is how wrist flexors and wrist extensors are going to come up. They don't usually throw those individual muscles around. They want you to focus more on the big, more important muscles.